Stealth, precision, silence. These were the pillars of the Nightwalk mission, an operation so secretive that only a handful of men knew its true objective. But on this fateful night, silence would be shattered by fire and steel. A missile was locked on, and a pilot's worst nightmare was about to become reality. The Nightwalk missions were among the most dangerous of the war. Designed to infiltrate deep into enemy territory under the cover of darkness, these aircraft carried out intelligence gathering, reconnaissance, and precision strikes with almost no room for error. Tonight's mission was no different, except for the fact that it nearly ended in disaster. Our pilot, let's call him Shadow, was one of the best. Flying an advanced Nightwalk aircraft, he had been through dozens of missions. But as he crossed into enemy airspace, something felt off. The ground below was unusually quiet. Too quiet. Shadow had a gut feeling. Something was watching him. And then it happened. The cockpit alarm screamed. A missile had been launched. From the darkness below, a deadly streak of fire shot upward, closing in at unimaginable speed. Shadow had only seconds to react. The impact was devastating. The missile struck near the tail, tearing through the fuselage like a blade through fabric. The entire aircraft shuddered, control panels flickered, and an acrid smell of burning metal filled the cockpit. Shadow's hands were steady, but his mind was racing. This is it, he thought. This is how it ends. But Shadow wasn't going down without a fight. The plane was crippled, but not out. He fought the controls, trying to stabilize the descent. He had trained for this, countless hours in simulations, endless drills. But nothing could prepare a pilot for the real thing. He had two choices: eject now and risk capture, or try to save the aircraft and make it back. Every pilot is taught that survival comes down to three things: training, instinct, and sheer willpower. Shadow had all three. He rerouted power to the remaining functional systems, adjusting his altitude to reduce drag. But the flames were spreading, the aircraft was losing control, and then, the moment of truth. The ejection system was his only way out. He knew what that meant, an uncertain fate behind enemy lines, alone in the dark. But there was no other choice. With a deep breath, he pulled the lever. With a deafening explosion, the canopy blew off, and Shadow was launched into the cold night air. For a moment there was silence, just the rush of wind and the glow of his burning aircraft disappearing into the darkness. He hit the ground hard, dazed, bruised, but alive. Now a new battle had begun, the fight to evade capture and make it back home. The enemy was searching for him. He had to move quickly. Using his training, he navigated the rough terrain, staying low, using the night as his ally. Hours passed like days. But then, hope. A faint radio signal, the voice of his rescue team cutting through the static. And just when exhaustion threatened to take over, he saw it. The rescue chopper. He was getting out. Against all odds, Shadow had survived. Not every mission goes according to plan. But for those who dare to fly into the unknown, courage and resilience can mean the difference between life and death. This was one of the many untold stories of war. A reminder of the risks taken, the sacrifices made, and the men who never give up. This is Ghosts of the Frontline, where history's forgotten warriors live on. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. More incredible war stories are on the way. See you in the next mission.